Hello, all of you delightful beings out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Ascent to Ascend Pathfinder, Season 5, Episode 28, Pirate Provisions. We're gonna go ahead and start off today by turning it over to the Birthday Dragon to begin introductions. Happy birthday, Tal.
Hello! Yeah, hello, I am Taldirus. I'll be the storyteller for Ascent to Ascend Pathfinder Night, and yes, it is actually my birthday, the start of game month.
Oh my.
I will poke the Alexi.
Oh, right.
I think you
Alexi.
might be still
been...
recovering. You are light, Paul. You're playing Lexi.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm
Yeah,
Light Paw
definitely
was
still
playing
recovering.
Alexi, and I have a flavored water. I'm going to use some.
He has generated 2 cryptographic keys in the last hour, so he's a little bit overtaxed.
You gonna pass it off
So
to
Gar!
Gar?
I am Tochemay, and I play Gar, the Gnoll Barbarian. And now it's the Marten twins.
I am Razim, and I am playing as the Marten twins. They are a pair of sentient feral psionic incanters. This week their names are Egg and Inserter. Just for Lexi.
I am.
Off to
I see
Rosalia.
you're just trying to decimate Alexi. Got it.
And I am Tanya Sapien. I am playing Rosalia Natu Cygnus, who is a hairfolk necromancer playing the part of Iron Man.
Hello, I'm Tiberian, and I'll be playing Snow Shadow of the Vanishing Isles, a catfolk monk.
Hello everyone, I am Timble. I am playing Timbledore Jägermeister von Glorious Borkenborg Wolfenstein. I'm a big Wolven Paladin, captain of the crew, and driving a boat.
And now for the recap, as presented in full permitted detail by Timber. You know, non-redacted detail.
Alright, so previous episode, we started traveling, and I chained myself to the helm, and a couple days went by, and then finally somebody checked on me, and apparently Rosalia was like, I want to go make a waddle bomb thing, and so she had explosives expert make like some big waddle bomb thing, and I told her, well, you know, the twins, they're really good at, you know, deleting things and going underwater. So we chucked the thing off the boat. It exploded, made a tower of water, and I liked it a lot. And then after that, I found a bucket of fish guts. Somebody fed me a bucket of fish guts. I ate that. And then we saw a couple boats up on the horizon. What else happened? I don't know. I was up on top of the deck. The end.
Last time
I
on
know.
Ascent to Ascend, everybody was fighting over the forge.
Yes, that's a pretty good. That's a pretty good recap right there. Everyone wanted the forge.
Yeah. Well, except for Temple.
I'll have you know that there was no fish guts in that pie.
If only the wallfish guts then.
All
don't
right. Does
remember the
anyone
fish
want to go
something.
over any of the details of y'all's conversations, or is that just gonna
Yeah.
be good?
The twins vowed to let Rosalia use the forge for the entire rest of the trip without getting in her way at all, because they just respect her so much.
No.
That doesn't sound familiar now.
Rosalia immediately resorting to gaslighting in a recap.
Oh, that wasn't gaslighting. That was just me being a little.
Gremlin?
How many minutes has the video been going? The video recording?
Not enough.
Not enough.
Oh, well, let me know when it is enough.
Oh, speaking of random gremlin energy, I'm gonna drop something in media sharing that got shared with me in the month.
And Rose is still disconnected from the network.
Yeah, because she has the Ring of Mind Shield on. Which may end up being a surprise tool.
But yeah, boats.
Votes, yes.
Possibly pirates. Well, I mean pirates, but depends if they're in a looting mood.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely pirates. Whether or not they're going to pirate you actively, now that is different.
But yeah, Timbo's at the helm, still has a cone of shame. He's in uniform though.
Timber? Captain?
Huh?
Here,
Somebody trying to call me? I was just playing deaf.
We've got ships on the horizon, so I think, the cone might not be a good idea. They don't want to, look like you don't have authority on the ship, and I thought that this might help with that. At which point, Alexei pulls out from behind him the thing that he is holding, which is the repaired, now masterwork cannon gear that he was assigned to repair. Which he holds up to Timber as a peace offering.
Timbo will take it and inspect it.
Schwa.
all right. Would you like to specifically describe anything that you did to it, Alexi, or do you just want it to be described as being pretty good quality?
It is masterwork quality. The only change that I, as a player, want is that he's probably engraved his personal artisan's mark on the butt of it. But the rest of it is as close to Imperial standard as he can get it, while still improving its functionality.
Thank you.
It should be able to handle more intense loads now. And I doubt that anything that tries to break it again is going to have anywhere near as easy a time as they had on this. Not that it was easy for them. It looked like it took a real beating first, but this should be able to hold up to even that.
I appreciate it. Unfortunately, I cannot remove this. Not yet. Temple motions to the cone.
And it might be a little hard to look down the sights with the, well, you'll figure it out.
It wouldn't be the first time.
If you want, I've got sketches for how I can maybe improve it a little bit more, but we can talk about that when you're not diplomatizing with the ships that I can now see. I'm going back down to the hold.
Yeah, go back down. Tell everyone to get to their battle stations just in case.
Oh, okay. Do I have a battle? Yeah, I'll figure it out. Alexei starts heading down the ship back to the hold and alerting anyone he finds on the way. Hey,
All right.
twins, do I have a battle station?
No? Maybe?
Oh,
We don't know.
I'll be in the alchemy lab then.
Probably the cannons.
What, like shooting one or fixing one?
Both.
I can do that. Has anyone seen Rosalia?
Nope.
If you do make it to the kitchen, the Snow will just literally point over to the workshop.
Oh,
That's gonna
okay.
be fun. That's gonna be fun fighting the undead who's controlling the cannons. Trying to work on the cannons at the same time.
Storyteller,
Yes.
is there any ammunition back in the barracks?
Most of the ammunition is either stored in the lower reaches of the deck or in the rowing galley section.
Yeah, I meant for the cannon fuel.
Oh, that yeah, there'd be like a little bit. You gave almost all of it to Brutus at the last, but there is still a little bit spare that you had. You have 10 shots left, I believe.
Alright. Temple will unchain himself, run down there real quick, and load up on ammunition. Then get back to his post.
All right. In that case, you would have 10 cannon gewehr shots. Anyone else?
I mean, Snow's going to be in the kitchen. He doesn't really have a battle station spot.
Is Timber going ramming speed?
Not yet.
The twins are just kind of on standby right now.
I guess it is up to Alexei to go find Rosalia and let her know.
Okay, there we go. Microphone check.
We can hear you.
Voice mod freaking crashed. I was giving commentary and prompting there, but none of it was getting through.
Hooray! Wait,
And voice mod developers, if somehow you end up seeing the VOD of this stream, put a freaking error pop-up that lets you know if it's crashed or if it's not transmitting properly. Seriously, it would benefit so much from just a simple error pop-up.
Rip.
How dare you? Anyways, yes, she's down in the brig with the bot, and so yeah, she would just be she would have the mech suit on and be doing final checks to verify that it's actually fully functional.
Rosalia?
Yes.
Timber said to get to battle station readiness.
I figured as much, which is why I was getting this ready.
Yeah, I told him I'd tell people. So I've told people.
Well, if you
Why is he
assume that I'm
wearing
people.
Of course you're people. You're cranky people, but you're people. Why is he wearing the cone?
I honestly can't remember. Some sort of screw up that he's blaming himself for.
Oh. Wow. I'd never take mine off.
As far as I'm concerned, anything that he's been doing might as well have been over a month ago. Even if it was just a day or two, feels like it's been over a month.
Yeah, we really do settle into things as people. It's easy. If you find a place you fit in, you just fit in like a cog.
Lightpaw, I think Tanya is making a joke about how long it's been. At least, okay, Tiberian got it.
You can't see it, but I'm giggling.
I got it too. I was running with the
considering
joke.
plinking her for 1 damage.
But we don't have the punishment feat here.
No, but I'm still the ST. I can do what I damn well want.
Fair enough. By the way, Tanya, it's been over 15 minutes now, so.
Speaking of things I can't remember.
That joke?
What was the context for the thing that I wanted to wait until after the no profanity thing for?
I do not remember.
I don't know, because you didn't tell us anything about it. You just went, hey, let us know when.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that had happened immediately before.
Immediately before? Lowe's, you sure like to come up with plans and not tell us what your plan is.
Yeah, I'm a little shitlord. Anyways.
I think that might have been it, actually.
No,
Anyway.
it was directed at somebody else.
Anyways.
A magnanimous dispensation.
Tochemay tipped $100. Razim
Oh, boy.
contract.
That was so good it broke my audio. One moment. Tochemay, thank you so very much for that tip. Thank you for your microtransaction. This will go to great use, and I hope you enjoy your sable crowns.
Not see that the audio breaking. That's just Zim slowly being erased from existence. That's what the new leadership meant. Congratulations, Alexi. You now have to run the entire show.
All right, twins. Before we get off rambling and stuff, I want you to do a little bit of recon to see what they're doing on those ships. If you think you can.
Is Timber still wearing the cone?
Yes.
We're sorry, Captain, but somebody wearing that cone cannot give orders.
Then why are you below the ships? Because I told you to go there.
Well, we just decided to go ahead and have some fun here. But it is important that the leader of the ship is shown to be strong if we are to interact with these other people. The twins are so getting stomped on.
Just remember, you decided this.
Speaking of stomping, yeah, Rose is going to be making her way back up to the top decks.
Timbo is just gonna be gripping the controls.
Are you going to take the cone off, Captain, so you can present the proper front to these others?
Can Timbo see Rosilia?
Well, considering that the mech is like a full 2 feet taller than she is, no, still below.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so what, 5 feet?
I was about to say, so you're like half as tall instead of a third.
The lesser bone horrors, do they count as medium or large?
It sort of depends, but if for the one that you made, it's probably just medium.
Okay, because yeah, I remember for the siege ones that I had made, those classified as large, but I can't remember whether I was using enlarge on them. Oh yes, I was using enlarge on those because we had the whole thing back and forth about whether or not they cost extra bones.
Also, Tao, the twins will be doing recon, but they're gonna make sure that Timber is unaware.
Okay.
I know what. Timbo's gonna yell down to the deck for Gaul.
Gar may be fast, but I don't think he can run across water.
Not with that attitude.
No.
That's quitter talk.
That's quitter talk. But I need somebody that I can see.
Yeah, I can come up. You called, Captain?
I need your help.
What do you need?
Am I worthy to take this cone off?
Yes.
Can you remove it?
Okay. I'll start fiddling with the...
And Temple will take a knee and just wait for Gaul to either pull it off or unattach it somehow.
Or has more than enough strength to remove it.
Yeah.
And we made the joke last time of, is she tall enough to Timber to see Rose? And only if we stick her in the martini glass.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I'll take it off. Did you want this back in your quarters?
Yes. Thank you, Gaul.
Mm-hmm. And I'll go take it back.
All right.
It can only be removed by somebody respectable. Thank you.
Okay, ow.
No, he has a
Just
point.
Absolutely sniped. Oh yeah, no, it's just funny though because of the absolute snipe.
And now you can see Rose's reaction to that.
Well, you still can't because she's in the mech suit. It's fully enclosed.
The Kazan respects strength. Gaul has that.
The hell do the twins have then?
We have
Positive vibes.
explosions.
Cunning.
That's what I said. Positive vibes.
You have anti-material properties.
Could be anti-material or anti-personnel.
Antimatter.
Porcello made out of materials.
And so are we changing our flags to greet them or ward them away, or?
Oh, we're not gonna change that flag unless you want me to put that cone back on.
So do you cut out for anyone else?
Came through
He
just
said
fine
we're
for
not
me.
changing. We're not changing a flag unless he gets the cone back on.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because
I
he
can't
just
give-
like for me it just cut out
Oh.
in the middle, so I was just like, what was that?
Yeah. Temple will not. Temple doesn't like giving up the ship. He's not the brightest. He tried to get in a fist fight with Dragomos, okay? But he is loyal.
And did Rose's creature able to reach the cannons yet?
He can run the propulsion system, but as far as being able to aim the cannons intelligently, no, there's no means for doing that with Atlas.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that is the compromise of having him be able to dock and undock. Is that yeah, because the way that Philippides was doing it was actually with skeletal arms that would manipulate the cannons, which we can't do that with Atlas. All we can do is have a simple clockwork mechanism that rows the oars.
Nice pun.
What pun?
Rose. Rosalia.
Oh, wasn't even intentional.
I don't believe you.
If it was intentional, I'd take full credit for it.
I don't believe you.
I need you to stop.
So yeah, what are the twins getting from their recon?
Go ahead and roll me perception.
They succeed.
I will wait.
I was scrolling down to it.
Oh,
Nat
nice.
20, baby!
It's the
Nice,
confidence. I succeed, nat 20.
Hey, I didn't care if they rolled a nat 20 or a 1. They were rolling.
Yeah.
Technically, with the twins, they could roll a nat 20 and a 1.
True.
Besides, rolling the funny math rocks is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus his will shiny.
All right. So, with what you're getting from that, you will be able to check out each of the various ships. There's one large ship and two smaller ships that are very obviously more just meant for either spare crews, spare loot, or other things such as that, rather than direct combat purposes. And it's pretty easy to tell that as well, considering that it's effectively being used as overflow storage by the pirates currently. Each of the two smaller ships have effectively a skeleton crew and a large amount of their merchandise on each of them. The bigger ship, however, has basically filled up as much of its space as it can with the most expensive materials and items and such, while still leaving enough room that it can maintain full combat effectiveness. You are also able to locate what looks to be the captain, who is on the shorter end for humans, but is definitely still a human, dressed in some nice fancy garb. They look like they are. They look like they are at least moderately successful on a regular basis, considering the outfit and the general state of weaponry on the crew is actually pretty well. They even actually have some cannons of their own.
Understood, understood. They will report that back to the no longer coned captain. We are glad to see that you came to your senses, Captain Timber. It is good to have you leading again.
Were you able to figure out where they're going?
Are they able to figure that out?
Not particularly. They're on the open seas. They, technically speaking, they could be going just about anywhere.
Yeah.
They will relay that. The twins will then approach it, like try to get into the main ships. I assume there's windows in the captain's cabin on the main ship.
There is.
They're gonna try and get close and see if they can spot the, any maps or anything.
You would be able to. You do see what is quite obviously, like, a navigator map rack that has the vast majority of the maps nice and tightly sealed up there. But there is one that is currently unfurled on a table, which, with what you've seen from your ability to go, higher up and look around and the passing through, definitely seems like it's a map of this area.
Is there any indication of anything, like, a marker on it or anything like that?
You did roll really good, so I'll say, there are, like, paperweights on the map, and, you don't know what they represent, but considering where they're placed, you kind of have a feeling that these might be representatives of things as, like, little tokens, rather than, it being any, just to keep the map nice and weighed down. As for what they mean right now, you don't really know, but you could definitely pick out what the pirates consider to be important local spots.
They will first off memorize all those locations. And then also give a feed of what they're seeing back to Timber.
Well, Taldaria, since he's giving Timbal a general idea of where the pirates might be considered, valuable, is that from what Timbal can remember, is that any importance to Wolf and Wall plans or no?
Well, the only map that they have up right now is of the localized area. This is not like, active front lines. Obviously, occasionally Wolven ships will, pass through areas, but that's more because Wolven ships, especially when properly supported, can kind of just go where they want, for the most part.
Yeah.
Not with, complete impunity, but, enough that they can make incursions.
Yeah.
So, it's not... It isn't unthinkable that, a Wolven ship might come through this area and do things, but this is not active frontline
Yeah, it's
area.
not a priority.
So, whatever this is just whatever these pirates are considering valuable. And you would know that the kinds of things that pirates generally consider valuable are, safe haven friendly ports, the places that they can careen in order to maintain and repair their ships without being accosted, local targets that they've scouted out, things of that nature.
Loot and quarter, gotcha.
Yeah, those are the kinds of things that pirates tend to care about.
Heresy. Timber will reply to the twins and just go, well, keep an ear out. If they give orders to fire upon us, I would like to know.
Understood. If they do give orders for that, shall we go ahead and commence anti-materialization?
Yes, sink 2 of those ships if they start firing upon us.
Understood.
Cripple the thought.
That is what the twins will be doing then.
All right. So, if you're listening to what they're talking about, which I feel like you would be, you kind of get the sense that they were debating for a little bit about oh, hey, what's that? Oh, it's that kind of ship. I've never seen one like that before. That kind of stuff, because they're looking at the flag, but they're looking at the type of ship, and they're a little bit confused about it, but they're just kind of shrugging and doing the equivalent of, well, we can't fit any more loot anyways right now, so what would be the point? Let's just try and sell to them.
Okay. The twins, for the moment, are just watching and waiting.
Yep, and the ships, after a little bit, do start to, tack and reorient in order to start approaching the Kaiser's Mercy.
So do the twins say to Timber that they wish to trade?
Yeah, there will be an active feed to Timber.
Yeah. Timber will call out below deck to, hey guys, I think they want to trade. Is there anything you want to buy? I know you're the ones with the money.
I guess Snow will kind of walk up and, I mean, I'll see what they have, but they're pirates, are they not?
Correct.
Hmm. Well, if
Kind
you
of
buy
brave
anything,
of them to come against an Imperial ship. Usually we shoot at them.
I was more thinking if you buy anything, you better hope that whoever they stole from doesn't figure out that, well, we're the ones in possession of their stolen stuff.
I don't know how this thing walks.
And I've never. Well, I mean, I've dealt a lot with Orchid, but as far as these types of people go, it's best to hide your true strength, your true authority, true wealth. In that note, I think I'm just going to play the part of an automaton. I already look like one at the moment. The more they
So how
underestimate,
much
the
can
better.
we get for the automaton?
This unit is not for sale.
Oh, so you mean that's priceless? Poke, poke.
Some would argue worthless.
Whatever, so long as it really confuses the hell out of the pirates.
That's the plan.
I think we're running low on saltpeter, and I could definitely use some more iron. All I've got down here is pig iron.
Well, I guess we can see what they want. Worst case scenario, we have a good time.
Wait, you make iron out of pigs?
Yeah, I was fishing for a good joke on that, but... Wait, no, I can't hear them. They're over at the ship, aren't they?
Well, yeah, but they also never talk verbally, and...
Exactly. Carry on. Forget I said anything.
No. I don't make iron.
Then how do you have pig iron?
Oh, no, it's, I'll explain later. It's just bad iron. It's called, it doesn't matter.
The concept of bad iron confuses Temple.
The twins share the confusion. The twins have decided that Alexei is an imposter. The twins are launching Alexei into the ocean.
Emergency meeting.
Yep,
Very
I'm flying through
sus.
the air. This is not good.
Alright, Storyteller Temple will allow them to approach.
All right. In that case, it does take a good little bit because sightlines on open seas are kind of long, and ships do not actually move all that quickly. So it takes a little bit, but they do eventually end up pulling close, with the bigger ship sort of like half covering for the two smaller ships. And quite loudly over the still existent gap between your two ships, because they aren't just pulling up right next to you, they're stopping like a good little bit of way. When I say stopping, I just mean kind of like, meeting your angle and pace.
Yeah.
You are going to hear, "Hello, I am Captain Griever, and I would wish to trade with you. Would you be open for some fresh supplies straight off of the boat?"
I am Captain Templedor Jägermeister von Glorious Balkenborg Wolfenstein. You may board or boat.
You got a fancy title. Hopefully that means you got them enough coin to pay.
Tempo's tail will wag a little bit because somebody thinks his name is fancy.
I will say that before the boat had a chance to get too close, Snow's hood is up.
Alrighty. The ship will draw a lot closer. It's a little bit bigger than your guys' ship because your guys' ship is it's an adventure galley, but it's still, a galley. It's not the biggest ship out there, quite obviously. And you guys will be able to see the pirate captain and some of the crew, not too many, just a couple, are going to start walking down the plank that they put across your two ships.
Yeah, the
Now-
gangplank.
Yeah.
Gangway.
Now, the captain is dressed up, very, very fancy clothes. They have sort of like more like a maroon color going on. They have, fancy clothes, a nice hat, a single feather, which goes from it starts with like a almost like orangish base and then goes up into white. And the rest of them that are coming down, most of them are also dressed pretty nicely. There's a couple of them that are like just dressed poorly, but they're kind of like carrying things, so they're probably not too important. Overall, he's coming down with 6 crew members, not including himself. So 4 other important pirates that haven't introduced themselves, and effectively 2 laborers. Who between them are carrying a chest. It doesn't look to be that heavy, but
And who's
still a
coming up
chest.
to greet them? Because Tempo's kind of behind the wheel. The helm.
Well, don't everyone jump forward at once.
Yeah.
I guess
The
it's
twins
Alexi.
are going to eagerly be going to meet them. The twins have a lot of trade goods to, trade.
All
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
the puzzles.
Not just the puzzles.
The puzzles and other things too. They just have a lot of trade goods. They have so many trade goods.
They're the Tradle people. But not the Tradles.
They have 5,000 gold pieces worth of assorted trade goods.
All right. The captain will, sort of do like a little hop and land quite heavily but sturdily onto the deck. Sort of look around, take off his hat for a second, do a little like semi bow with it, and then put it back on top of his head, and go, "As I said, I am Captain Grieva. Pleasure to be aboard your ship."
The twins are going to be just walking down the gangplank behind this guy.
While he's introducing himself, Temple will also introduce himself and say that this is the Kaiser's Marcy, and my accountant will be here soon.
We're here!
Do not question their small stature. They are incredibly intelligent.
He's gonna like wheel around really quickly at the voice behind him that he does not recognize. See you like
it's in
you
his
know,
head, but they do purposely make it seem like it's coming from behind.
Yeah, I know you directionalize things a lot of the time, so he doesn't know the difference. He's not psionic or anything. And he will wheel around and point a little bit into open air before dragging his hand down to point at the proper height.
You know, Timbo does the whole motion thing of, you know, you them all down. Timbo will point at the twins. Or at least one of them.
They are both there, just staring at him unblinkingly.
Captain, if you don't mind me saying, you got some strange accountants.
You have no idea.
Correct!
This unit has categorized their trade and aptitude at above average.
Well, this isn't the most eclectic group I've ever seen, but it's up there.
That's impressive.
That thing's for sale too if you want it.
This unit is not for sale.
He has rolled an appraisal check and goes, "That unique but too bony for me. Be hard to sell. Especially where we're at. I mean, do you know how hard it'd be to sell one of these things?"
Fair enough.
The market for used body parts is inadequate.
No, I'm saying that I'd be branded one of them crazies and killed. Honestly, what's the point in trying to destroy the world when then you wouldn't have any other stuff you already have or could take? Makes no sense to me.
I never thought I'd agree with a pirate.
There's plenty to agree upon. Good food, good times, things of that nature.
Pirate title not denied. Upgrading trade good status to dubious.
But it said it's an upgrade.
Correct. Dubious goods get marked down.
You're not wrong.
Well, I'll let you talk with my accountants. Wolven aren't good at trade. Timbo will march back to his post.
Yeah, normally the wolf would just blow ships like yours out of the water.
They try. Oh, do they try?
Well, in this case, we could just vaporize your entire ship and leave you sinking to the bottom of the ocean without you being able to retaliate.
Twins don't threaten our guests.
That wasn't a threat.
It's in decent taste still. Besides, you'd be dumb to think we were entirely defenseless. What, do you think we just traipse across the waves with no plan?
Possibly.
Timber's gonna grumble to himself and be like, "Twins, don't fucking tell them our military secrets."
But that was just a simple one. There's a lot more we could tell him. But we won't.
Like I said, you have some strange accounts there.
Angrily grips wheel. The things I do for the Kaiser.
Little accounts. Maybe he needs to account for you better.
You know, you're right. We could probably go for a bit more appreciation here.
You can't blame him. He can't count higher than 4.
Also, it
Banter
just
is
occurred to
deviating
me.
from Banter is deviating from objective trade.
Rosalia can't
no.
hear what the twins are saying, though.
What do you hear this guy's saying?
Yeah. But it also means that she would not have realized that they put her up for sale.
No, the pirate captain did reply back.
You do make a good point, but I'm going to counter with he did appraise immediately afterwards. So, I think she would have noticed that he looks at the twins and then looks at her with that scrutinizing gaze. So it's easy to put
And
two
then
and two
literally
together.
went, nah, too, Bodhi. The market wouldn't be there with this place.
So yeah, just shift her response to after he said that rather than before, and there you go. We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
What's in the box?
Ah, well, you see, I got a bit too much to carry everything with me. So I carry a little bit. Well, I don't, but I have some men who do that. They're good lads. They do good work. He's gonna turn, look at them, give him a single thumbs up with his ringed fingers, with like the fancy jewelry, and then turn away, and then look back again and go, oh, you can set it down. Yeah, there you go. Good lads. Like I said, they're good lads. They do good work.
So, what do you offer?
Oh, I have a lot to offer. Though I don't know how much of it you'd be in the market for, but you are apparently the accountant for the captain and thus presumably the ship, aye?
Yes, we are the quartermasters.
Ah. Well, in that case, this makes this a bit more simple. We have plenty of things, such as, survival provisions. We have arms, armaments, armor. Magical, some mundane. And the vast majority of it haven't just so happened to fall off a ship.
Define line item arms.
Ah, well, you see, we do a bit of mercenary work too. Very good jobs with the effort audience.
Don't worry about responding to that thing. So it was it gets excited when it thinks any form of body part might be involved in things.
Well, never mind then. If y'all want some useful items, magical items, I got there's a surprising amount that I have currently. I'm actually looking to make some room on my ships for once.
All right. In that case, we suppose we'll probably send some of our crew over to inspect your stock, and we will negotiate from there.
Tippo's gonna keep an eye on that other ship.
Why do I feel like I got a target marker?
I suppose we'd be amenable to something like that. Of course, they're gonna have to be with some of my lads the entire time.
Oh, absolutely. We just simply figure the easiest way to figure out what we might be interested in is to just go look at what you have in stock and go from there. They won't be taking anything until you've been paid.
Well, in that case, this makes this rather easy. Go ahead and, you got... Well, they aren't exactly the oldest, but, the deckhands be deckhand. Go ahead and gather up, let's say, 10 to 20 of your little deckhands here, and whoever else you want to send. Keeping it less than 20 should make it pretty fair for both sides.
Deploying reconnaissance drone. And just gonna have Thorn hop off.
So the twins are going to organize for the orphans and whatnot to go over. They are going to be very clear that they are to make lists of things that they may want. Of course, they are going to also insist that timber go over as well.
Just so you know, Griva is counting the quote-unquote surveillance drone as one.
Yeah.
Figured as much.
I guess Temple will go over, yeah.
The twins themselves.
Oh yeah, by the way,
don't
just a note for interest's sake, the guy does have both a sword and a bandolier of pistols.
Like one does.
Like one does.
The twins themselves don't really have any interest in items. But they will go over and inspect any trade goods he might have.
All right. In that case, go ahead and give me some appraise.
Temple will try to whisper to the twins, just keep an eye out for Imperial property.
I apparently grabbed the wrong guy there.
Acrobatics. Does a little
That's
flip.
better.
Grabbing the wrong skill has saved you there a bit.
Don't worry, acrobatics right into the water.
Do a flip.
Rose is going to be looking through Thorn, and she's going to be looking for high volume trade goods, so things that take up a lot of space for how much they're worth.
Alrighty.
Yep, that's definitely stuff.
It's always great when Timber rolls a result he can count.
Timber vision scanning over the cargo hold. Just see a whole bunch of flags. Contraband, 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 contraband.
Just a giant field of sensor bars.
All right. So you guys would be able to find quite an eclectic list of things. It's very clear that, for obvious reasons, this is not exactly the cargo manifest of people who planned out what they'd have. Instead, this is the cargo of people who picked and choose the things they so wanted and could find. To that end, there is an absolute bevy of different categories of trade goods. There is construction stone, semi-precious stones, gemstones, metals, softwood, hardwood, pitch, textiles, either raw or processed, or even some manufactured. There's some spices, some herbs, some medicinal, some just being, to help with foods.
Our current destination, how much do we know about the place?
Go ahead and roll. What would be the best? Probably like knowledge local.
I don't have knowledge local.
What knowledges do you have?
Arcana, religion, and engineering.
All right. Well, the twins have it.
I mean,
So
the
at least,
twins are looking through the trade goods, so they're trying to determine what
Yeah.
would go well with where we're going.
Yep. The kingdom or empire of Ebrium, depending on who you ask and whether or not the current king has declared it an empire and you wish to recognize it as such or not, is sort of a place that has some strange habits. There is almost always some form of a rebellion going on, usually multiple at a time. If the kingdom ends up getting its shit together, it's one of the strongest, and is currently providing the most amount of actual, like, on the field resistance to the Wolven. The other leader in that front being the Husqvarnians for obvious reason. For that, they have a rather militarized society in terms of there is almost always a demand for more weapons, armor, things like that, either by rebels trying to gear up to fight against the king or whatever local lord that happened to piss them off enough, or the king or local lord who so happened to piss off their peasantry, trying to gear up their soldiers even better to stamp down the rebellion.
You mentioned textiles. Would they have any bulk linen or leather?
They would have linen, yes.
Okay.
I posted
terms
an
of-
Ascent and what Timble knows of that place according to the Imperium.
Yeah,
Timble,
that's a good one. I'll go ahead and read that off for stream.
Yeah.
This is from Timber's little Imperial Handbook. Section 4: The Kingdom of Ebrium. Ebrium is a land filled with strange inhabitants, not in form but in nature. Their peasantry will constantly rebel against their ruling class on a regular basis, but are also unwilling to see the Kaiseran's light or accept joining the Imperium. While Ebrium is posing the stiffest resistance to our advance, they are often found fighting themselves before an engagement. Despite our best efforts, their internal hierarchy is still a mystery. It's often hard to tell exactly who is in charge of any specific army unless they are flying a crimson flag bearing a golden crest. That is the personal standard of the Emperor, in quotes, of Ebrium, who is able to effectively command two armies that were fighting before his arrival against our armies. However, if there are no signs of the crimson and gold, expect a short engagement in your favor. Interestingly, Ebrium does not have good relations with their neighbors in Acre and Husqvarnia. While they will not enter open combat with Acre, they will sometimes sit out of engagements, allowing us 2 easy victories instead of 1 slightly more challenging victory. To note about the colors, Wolven armies will also generally have effectively attachés who have full color sight in order to act as, intelligence officers.
Someone needs to. I mean, what?
Because otherwise they'd be unable to see the crimson. As for the sorts of things that they would generally have in demand there, building materials in order to rebuild generally goes for a pretty good price. If there's been recent fighting, obviously food will be at a premium because of the, either side requisitioning whatever they can in order to help fight, or just, the limited farmlands getting destroyed in the fighting, or even just not being there to harvest. For that instance, medical supplies also generally nice and high demand. Things of that nature. The more traditionally expensive, like artisan jewelry, all of that kind of stuff, tends to go really well. But that's just because if you can get a noble contact, because their nobles are notoriously bad with their money. They will just spend so much money.
Oh, we simply must have this. How much could it be possibly worth? 2,000 gold?
All
if we're going to a war zone, medical
So you don't
equipment,
know if the
food,
place you're going to is actively in combat, but if it's in Ebrium, there is a coin flips chance either way.
Well, for the sake
say-
of getting to some more, not spending too much time on this kind of thing, the twins are going to be going for a wide assortment of those kinds of the products on offer. They will be going for some of the higher value things for the nobles, if they have any available, but otherwise they'll go for the more bulky stuff.
Because I forgot yet again, is it brass or bronze that we have a whole crap load of?
bonds.
Okay. I was leaning towards bronze, just couldn't remember. One day I'll remember.
Yeah,
And then
the day
we'll
that
be
you remember
completely
is
out
the
of
day
it.
we run out of it.
Jinx.
But yeah, just go ahead and let me know how much, because you're buying a bevy of these, so just let me know how much you're willing to spend. These guys have at least a little bit of almost everything. They also do obviously have, stepping away from trade goods. Like they mentioned, they do have magical weapons and armor for sale. If not in like extreme quantities, but you guys could pick up a few if you have like the money and want something.
Is there any equipment anyone needs? I doubt they have a set of anti-mantine plate.
Unfortunately for you, they do not just have that laying around. If they did, someone would probably be wearing it already just to be extra intimidating.
Yep.
Oh, what a neat rapier. Does the skeleton hand come with it?
Consider it a bonus.
ups it by 20 silver.
The hand is decorative.
Animates it and walks it back to the ship. Haha.
Mutually beneficial trade identified. You have linen bolt. This unit has bronze ingot.
Hey, now we're working with that.
Bronze ingot supply exceeds twin requirement. Surplus identified.
I was going to say, how did the twins hear that if they're in the ship? How was Rose hearing this?
Also,
Oh, yeah,
Liz
you're right.
cannot hear the twins.
Yep.
She can't hear the twins,
They
but
they keep making barbs that I can't respond to.
That's what you get for
as far as
being an individual.
As far as I'm aware, we are all on the other ship right now.
Unless
maybe
someone
not all,
explicitly
but-
didn't want to go over there, the assumption is yes.
Well, he stayed on our ship, right? He just had some of his men escorting them.
Oh no, he was doing a walkthrough. He has some of his men on your ship just in case, but he left some of the guys behind. But
Okay, I thought that he stayed behind.
I stayed behind on our ship.
Yeah,
Okay, well
Snow,
then, carry on.
Snow doesn't really have enough money for purchasing of stuff.
Well, let me know when he gets back. Because you can't exactly talk through Svefenthorn because he can't talk.
I have to stay on our ship to make sure that kobolds and children don't rob the robbers.
Yeah. Yeah, chance for a GLaDOS quote there, actually. Talking to the kobolds. If you rob this ship, you will be missed.
Are we talking like, we'll miss you, or you're going to be missed, as in the spray?
Correct.
Yes. Yes. How much are the twins going to be spending in order to pick up various lucrative trade goods that they have identified?
Let's see here. The twins currently have... They have 4,292 gold. So we're going to assume that you are only looking to offload, not to acquire more?
Mostly, unless it's light, not too bulky, and fairly useful.
Well, they're
Please
going
don't sell
to
me.
pull. They are going to pull out the puzzle cubes that they have been making. A couple of them, at least. Well, we've got these that are available for sale.
Looks like a puzzle cube.
Because
I've really
they
messed
are.
around with those things myself.
Each one's got a unique solution and is very well made.
Are you going to tell them which one has the gold coins in it?
That is another thing that we did, is that we did hide some money inside.
And how much are you looking to offload each of these for?
Let's see here. It looks like I've got 15 gold pieces listed here. It's been forever, but I'm assuming that was what they appraised these to be worth.
Yeah, they're about 15 gold apiece.
Okay.
It's not like on the upper end of puzzle cubes, but it's definitely on the upper end of puzzle cubes that don't have like engraved gemstones in them.
We could probably part with these for 18 gold apiece.
Not a paddywhack.
What were you saying there's in?
18 gold each.
I mean, it's a little high, but then again, I can respect a little bit of selling out of convenience. Let's see. I mean, I might do a puzzle cube or two, and that'll last me a little bit. But also, if they have these, maybe some of the lads will stay out of a bit more trouble. And by trouble, obviously, I mean getting mad when they gamble and lose to each other.
They do also have money inside.
You can blame the twins if they
in
lose.
that case, how many of them do you have?
We have 32 of them.
Alright, I'll take the lot.
Cool.
Note that he never asked how much money is inside. I think he's just using them as a morale booster.
That is exactly what he's doing.
Exactly. And either way, the twins are very much making a hefty profit.
Yep. The twins make a profit. He gets value. You know. Also, he's also going to use these to also partially extract value from his own men in a way that they won't get upset from.
He's just gonna be using them as loot boxes on loop.
Basically.
You
he
he
runs a ship full of pirates
because they're
who
so
get...
tiny.
Look, he runs a ship full of pirates that get drunk and gamble, usually. Why wouldn't he look at these things and go, oh, when they're drunk and they're about to start getting rowdy, I'll just make a betting pool thing about whether or not someone manages to complete one of these in a certain amount of time while drunk.
I get the feeling that whoever it is that finds that one with the platinum piece is going to have a target on their back.
Not the twins' problem.
Honor among thieves.
But yeah, no, he's basically going to use these to medieval pirate Coco Melon his crew.
I do not know the reference, I'm afraid.
Coco Melon is a YouTube channel that makes content for little kids, and it's notorious for being used for iPad babying.
Ah, fair enough.
That's why we also joke about Coco Meloning Nova and Cobalt. That's what that joke is.
Congratulations, you've invented Victorian TikTok.
Oh, come on. This is at least Edwardian TikTok.
You see, Kazruan? I'm watching the brains.
Alright.
But yeah, there you go.
The puzzle
He is buying the lot instantly, no questions asked.
Awesome. For more than they were actually worth.
Yeah.
Or
Wait, how much
rather,
were you
more than
charging
what
per unit?
he thought he could get, or more than they thought they could get for him.
More than what they appraised the market price of this to be.
18 gold each, and they had 32.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's a couple hundred gold, but also to this guy, he'll spend a couple hundred gold to be able to keep his crew under control better.
Alright, so pleasure doing business there. We do also have... we will go ahead and take... the twins are now at 4,800. We'll take 3,000. Obviously, for the sake of time, we're not getting into the nitty gritty of what goods they're getting, but 3,000 gold worth of a variety of those goods that they think would go well.
All right. Honestly, if it's just meant for trade, there's a reason why I generally refer to these sorts of things as assorted trade goods.
Yeah, that was my plan. So that'll be what they're getting. Should I just add that to the existing trade goods Ebrium?
Yeah, sure, because these are also marketed towards Ebrium.
For the record, they are going to be negotiating for a lower price because, well, they are very much full. They can see that. They're offering they will handle the moving off of the ship themselves. So they're going to be negotiating for a very good price on these goods.
All right. In Pathfinder, haggling is diplomacy, right? Like, right? Yeah.
I don't know. You know
Yeah.
Pathfinder better than I do.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
I was
assume it's
half asking
diplomacy.
myself.
You are correct. I believe it is diplomacy.
Yeah.
You might be able to get away with appraisal.
Well, appraisal is to see the value of it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that if they're trying to haggle you, you might be able to use appraisal to counter the haggle. But
I'm gonna willpower that first one.
You wish. But yeah, you would use appraise for the valuation of something. And then you would use diplomacy for bargaining.
Hey, chat, can I get a reroll? Hey, can I get a reroll? I mean, overall, it's gonna help out the group here. The twins aren't gonna use the money. It's for the group. Legit, though, their plan is, you know, in general, they're going to bankroll most of the group if they ask. At least after they offload the goods.
Duke.
I'm just waiting for him to actually find his way back over to the Kaiser's Mercy, so that Rose can do her trade.
Unless Timber needed to take care of anything on that ship.
I mean, I don't know. Like, Timber just kind of, like, rolled an appraise check early on and got, like, a 3.
Yep, that sure is stuff.
That's the Kaiser and stuff.
And that video was even more adorable than most of the Marten videos.
Feel the
Alright,
backhand of justice!
Well, currently, I'm trying not to ask the Kaiser's opinion on this because I'm pretty sure she's mad.
But yeah, so that's what the twins are gonna have to settle with.
Yeah, you weren't really going to get it at much of a discount, really. Like, technically speaking, with the way things work, this guy's asking price was already, like, pre-lowered a bit because he's, like, you know, using you guys as a convenient offload point. So, he benefits more if he takes less of a, like, profit percentage from selling to you right this second. So, the base price is already lower. You're already getting a decent deal, yeah. It's a situation where his base price and final price were already going to be lower than like market rate, technically.
That is fair. I could live with that.
We are apparently fencing these goods for him.
You are, he is effectively using you as a fence, so yeah.
Now, are we talking like chain link or picket?
Consider you're on the open seas. Think more of a ranch fence.
Is there a scriptorium with scrolls? Or even just a box of scrolls?
There would be, yes.
You mean scroll
empty
armory?
scrolls or filled scrolls?
Yeah, the book armory.
Book armory, yeah. Are you looking for empty or filled?
I'm looking for things to turn into formulas, so the filled scrolls. Since I can't make the other kind, I just make potions.
Captain Grieva is going to, because I'm assuming you're going to, like, ask around for it, right?
If I have to, yeah, I'm gonna.
Good. Well, there's 3 boats to look through.
Ah, yeah.
Captain Griva is gonna be wandering over to you, and he's gonna be rubbing his hands together a little bit with those rings making a nice clanking back and forth a little bit as he sort of roll
He's a
rubs and
clanker!
rolls his
Blast
hands
him!
together.
You know those are gold-plated lead, right?
Does it look like I care?
No.
It shines nice and brightly, and that's about all I care about.
Wait, what's gold-plated lead?
The rings? You can't hear
Oh.
it?
I was asking that out of game.
Oh, he was insinuating that this guy's rings were fake, and he just went, "Does it look like I care?" Even if they are fake or not. So, I heard you were looking for some scrolls?
A little bit. Mostly I just make potions and, hold up a bomb. And these, but I always like expanding my formula list, so I was just wondering what you had.
Good lad. You looking for anything in particular, or you just want an assortment?
There are a couple of spells I'm looking for, but anything exciting is usually just what I go with. It's hard to know what is good until you kind of see how the formula comes together, and then at that point, it's something really good.
Oh, in that case, you don't want an assortment? I could get you an assortment.
I definitely wouldn't mind.
Alright. How about you go back to your nice little ship, and when I come back over, I'll bring an assortment for you. How much you're willing to spend?
And this is the point where me as the player needs to double check something. I don't have
Meanwhile,
that written down.
I'm sure Alexi
mean-
has some gold from the whatchamacallit.
I never actually found out how much I got as a personal stake.
Yeah, meanwhile, back on the ship, Rose is just like...
Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I can part with about 100 platinum.
Aren't you a stranger? Not many people just convert to gold if you're just working in platinum. So,
I deal with mages a lot. I know how much scrolls cost.
fair. So you're looking to spend about 1,000 gold. I can get you an assortment for that. So I'll go grab your assortment. You get your platinum pieces, and I'll meet you over on your ship.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I'm not dumb enough to carry that much on me onto a pirate ship, no offense.
I assumed you were nervous, not dumb. I might not be looking to rob you, but some of my men, well, they have a bit of sticky fingers at times, and I can't be everywhere.
Yeah, if you carry as much gunpowder as I do on a regular basis, you'd get nervous too. I'll go back to the ship.
As Alexi scampers away, he's just gonna say to the open air, "Did the little guy not notice that I carry a bandolier of pistols?"
think you underestimate how much of a walking bomb he is.
I guess to pass the time, Temple's gonna just check out the ship's armament.
They underestimate how much of a walking bomb is in our ship.
Armament, chapter 5, verse 15.
I mean, Snow's saving his gold for a buff or some stuff, so not much he really wants
Yeah, I
to
mean,
spend
I'm pretty
on
sure
anything.
pilots got rum.
Possibly.
All right. So with that being the case, he will be eventually coming back over to the Kaiser's Mercy and all that. Rose, what sort of a deal would you like to try and make with him?
Item identified. Dubious origin. Linen bolt. Item possessed. Untraceable. Bronze ingot.
Oh. So you're saying that for whatever reason you could want linen, you want some linen, and in exchange, I get some no questions asked bronze ingots?
Correct. This satisfies requirement. Reduce volume of inventory.
I suppose it does. Got no clue what something like you would want the linen for, but I don't actually particularly care so long as I get paid and it's off my ship.
This unit seeks to acquire fiscal responsibility.
I don't know how linen's gonna help you with that, but I hope you figure it out. So, how
Okay,
much linen you looking
quick
to
question.
get
Lenin
your hands
as
on?
in...
Linen as in like the textile.
Oh, okay. Because my tinnitus ass is hearing lemon.
It's the
No,
stuff
like
used for making underwear.
Yeah.
Linen has a lot of uses, especially in a combat environment. It can be used as girding underneath armor. It can be used as bandages. You can just straight up make clothing out of it. It's also a suitable material for making
for
tents
some
out of.
reason, I just kept thinking lemon, and I'm like, I know I'm hearing this wrong.
Yeah, basically, linen is a trade good that's guaranteed to sell well in a place like Ebrium.
Alright, so you want some linen. About how much you looking to get?
How much of the ingots do we even have left?
You still have a lot, actually.
Okay, how many bolts of linen do they have?
Can we actually get a number, though?
Yes, I actually made... I got like a poundage, and you guys had a few tons of the stuff.
Well, how many bolts of linen cloth do they have?
Okay. So, for what they have, in terms of square yardage of linen, about 500 square yards of it. They have a lot of linen. Do also note, the base price of a square yard of linen is 4 gold. So they have like 2,000 gold worth of linen, in particular.
I'll take half their stock, so 1,000 gold worth.
Alright, do you just want to hit like the auto balance for the ingots?
Yeah, just auto balance. She will be attempting to negotiate a low price, using the fact that she knows for a fact she's acting as a fence as part of the negotiating.
Alright, well, you better roll some diplomacy then.
I can find it. Oh, I saw that. That so badly wanted to come up as a 20.
But it
I'll
didn't.
chalk this up to the fact that all of her negotiation has to pass through the filter of sounding like it's a machine saying it.
Yep. So you'll get, like, again, not very much of a discount. It's just going to be like the equivalent of, you're buying half my stuff. Fine, take a tiny bit for free. It's like that kind of discount.
So that'd be 250 square yards of linen cloth.
Yep. And he'll knock like 30 gold off the price.
So there, 250 square yards. She's paying with the bronze ingots, so that you can update that at your end.
Yep.
You said you have the sheet for that.
Yeah, no, you guys have a few tons of the stuff. I'm not joking when I say you guys have like an egregious amount of this stuff.
Trade complete. Witty banter activating. Your mother's dress requires structural girder, and your father, file not found.
You made an attempt. Although if you really want to do something like that, I'm kind of a pirate, so you don't even know if I know either of my parents, much less one of them.
At least you're pretty sure yours aren't fireworks.
What is it with you and talking about explosives?
I grew up in an alchemist's guild.
Then why are you so nervous?
Well, you see, I've got most of my gunpowder on me, because if it gets, like wet or other stuff, and the ship is very wet, but if my gunpowder gets wet, then it's useless, and then I have to make more, and if I make more, I use up some of the supplies, so I've got, like, a lot of gunpowder on me. And I don't know if any of your crew are smokers.
They know better than to smoke around the gunpowder again. But again, the last one who did that was named Anderson, and now we call him Handy because he only has one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there wouldn't be one left of me if mine went up.
Then don't get lit on fire.
Didn't plan on it.
Stop being so nervous. If you get too jittery, you're gonna jump.
I mean, a little, but, like... See, the thing is, my parents didn't plan on it either. And it just happened anyway.
Alexei exhibits symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder.
I'm gonna go get my gold.
Wait, that's a thing that people can get. Never saw it myself.
I mean, at least he knew his parents.
Trade good, bronze ingot. In transit with unit, Atreus.
Okay, I'm gonna pretend I know which one that is.
Atreus is undead, null. Atreus is classified as pet.
I don't particularly care so long as the bronze ends up on my ships.
We trade the bronze for the linen, and the two ships shift in the water.
Okay, with that wording, I was thinking, okay, load the cannons, fire the bronze into the ships.
It is technically on board, yes. One finger on the monkey's paw curls.
The twins do have a couple more things that they want to look around for.
All right, what do they want to look around for?
They are looking for any precious metals or leathers, precious metals, gems, and really good lumber. Stuff that they could, you know, the fancier kind of lumber. Like mahogany.
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 Why is Blurb lagging? I was gonna grab mahogany, but it's lagging.
It always lags, I swear. Or at least whenever you use it.
Oh. No, there's just... The reason why is there's no blurb for mahogany.
Oh.
My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined.
But yeah, the twins have, you know, these are all things that they can craft with. Or at least have skill points for crafting with, so... Might as well try to get some some stuff that they can refine.
Yep. All right. So in terms of metals, the metals that they have available is in iron, gold, silver, copper, lead, and mercury.
And bronze now.
And now bronze. You should buy the bronze back. That'd be pretty funny. They do have a supply of gemstones, which includes gemstones such as diamonds, sapphires, rubies, emeralds, amethyst, opals, garnets, and some bloodstones. They have some semi-precious like carving stones, like alabaster and malachite.
Okay.
Commissar said, "Don't drink the quicksilver."
In terms of the woods that they have available, they don't really have any mahogany. They have like some hardwoods like ash, maple, birch, some oak.
Well, these are things that I don't really know what's, you know, considered a very valuable wood. So, but I would assume that they would.
Yeah, so the thing is that so there is like luxury woods, but also like harder woods are generally more expensive than softer woods just due to durability.
Fair.
Because, you know, pine is nice and all, but it doesn't last that long, really.
Yeah.
So you can pick up like some maple wood.
Ooh. Do we have enough bronze to just buy out all of what they've got?
I don't think we have cargo space.
So you do, but their ships can't hold all that. So you do, but you also effectively don't. And they're not going to offload literally all of their stock to monotype into Brahm when they're trying to empty their holds.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you're trading precious stones for semi-precious metal, so their total volume of inventory would end up going up.
The twins are going to try and negotiate for as much of an assortment of those things as they can get using the bronze. That way they can refine those things into other things. I don't know exactly how much bronze we have, other than,
you have an egregious amount of bronze.
Yeah, that I was just going to say, I don't know how much we have other than yes, but...
If you have to ask, we have too much.
Okay, let me just put it this way. Your limiting factor when it comes to the utilization of this bronze is not how much, it's how much is whoever you're trying to deal with willing to actually take.
Yeah. But either way,
Yeah.
that is kind of what they are trying to do.
In that case, he'll think for a second and go, all right, well, I suppose I could exchange some of the wood for some of that bronze, but I'm trying to offload stock here and not take too much of it on. So maybe some of the other metals, a bit, and some of the wood. I ain't gonna be exchanging no gemstones for bronze, though. That's...
You know,
It
a thought
doesn't
just
make too
occurred to
much
me.
sense when I'm trying to offload here, you know?
A thought just occurred to me. If we are continually offloading bronze and using it as currency, if somebody were tracking us, they could use where bronze is turning up to get a general idea of where we've been.
Yep.
Congratulations, yes. You
Congratulations,
guys are
somebody
Mansa
already
Musaing
is.
with bronze. You guys have been Mansa Musaing with bronze ever since you got it. Like, yeah.
Rank up. Hold the line. This hamlet shall not
More of a
fall.
no-dust situation.
Thank you for the raid, Ren.
We give away bronze like tech startups give away stock shares.
Except the bronze actually has value.
I was waiting for that.
So, yeah. Do we want to, would you prefer to go into details on how much they're getting? You know the intention is, craft with it and make improved products to then actually sell.
The only thing I care about actually figuring out how much you're getting is gemstones, explicitly and solely because of Reeves.
That's a fair point. I was looking at the jewelry for the crafting jewelry thing they've got, but I did. Grease is a good point.
Shit. Wait, shit. That matters, actually.
Yeah.
That is the only one I care about. The rest of the categories could go fuck themselves. I'm willing to do the, napkin math and then hand wave. Gemstones, that one, I actually care about. But that's one of the categories where he's also not just going to accept bronze in lieu of payment, because then his inventory would grow, not decrease.
Yeah.
Also, we're gonna be going into port. We could always sell where we're going.
Yeah, I feel like bronze would have some use in a place that's war-torn.
Well, yes, but also we've got...
Or you could donate it to the Kaiserhood.
Well, we are a Kaiserin ship, therefore the Kaiserin already has it.
I wouldn't say that.
I would not say that either. That is an awful idea.
Do you want the Kaiserin to repossess the ship?
Do you want Timber to think you're selling Imperial property for personal profit?
Hey, wait a minute, I'm the only one allowed to possess things around here. Get your own undead state of being.
Do you want Timber to think you've been selling off Imperial property for personal benefit?
I'm forwarding the cause of the mission.
Do as you're gonna do.
Look, I'm just strategically transferring equipment to alternate locations, okay?
Do as you are going to do. I'm sure it'll work out so fine.
Anyways. Unless Gar has something he was wanting to trade, I think that's everybody.
What about snow?
Nope. Snow's got his Snow's saving for stuff, and
Yeah,
he is
he's
not an appraiser or diplomatic. He knows that he is not going to attempt.
Yeah, you know that a pirate captain is going to dance circles around you in price negotiations.
All right, Gol, what about you? You need anything?
Belt of giant strength, but probably I don't have enough. I'm back on the original ship, so
Yeah. I just didn't want to leave you out.
Yep. By the way, that is where this guy is anyway right now.
Yeah, speaking of which, where have the kobolds been this whole time? Have we seen hide nor tail of them?
You've caught glimpses of them as they've been going around.
Just, keeping an eye on them to make sure that they're not trying to steal anything from the pirates. Well, they'd be generally forgiving on the whole because, like, oh yeah, well, people just tend to steal things. In the moment, whoever it is they happen to be trying to pickpocket might not be quite so forgiving.
Timbo's just up on the deck, making sure nobody's trying something.
What do you mean, pickpocket? We have a galley to store some people.
It's not a galley, it's a brig, and stop eating my stock.
It's not pickpocketing if they're still on our ship.
Well, I'm ready to go when you guys all.
Yep.
All right. If anyone thinks of something later, I'm fine with you like just noting it down and going like, "Wait, I needed this and I forgot."
I'm only here because the twins.
Yep. Or if you guys want to
And
like close out details on things.
Rose doesn't have a whole lot in the way of money, which is why she was paying with the bronze ingots.
All right. So, are you guys done trading with some pirates?
Yep.
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 Bye. Have a beautiful time.
Timbo will return to his post.
I didn't know you were a cat.
Timbo will go. Timbo is rapidly approaching Rosilia.
All right. Well, you guys have officially closed your deal with the pirates. Again, like after this, if you think of something, I'm fine. Like doing a little bit of timey-wimey shenanigans, but that can be handled in text.
Yeah.
But you guys are able to get away from this encounter entirely unaccosted and, at least on paper, a good bit richer. On paper, because
Okay.
now you have far less liquid asset.
Noting that down as Imperial victory question mark. Asterisk.
I wouldn't question Mark. He doesn't know anything.
As long as it's not Will, he's filed.
All right. Well, I will say that, like, you know, in character, you guys would have, like, another couple of days before you reach your destination, and I don't know if anyone wants to, like, you know, do anything in that time, or if you guys got, like, basically all of your things out with the prior, like, couple weeks worth of stuff.
Will the twins be hogging the forge the entire time?
No, they will not.
Okay, Rose is going to be making those matching watches then. I believe I was planning to make 10 of them.
Alrighty. Well, you're gonna need a craft check before anything else. Or regardless of what else, you're gonna need a craft check, so.
Yay!
Alrighty. Alright, now what exactly were you trying to make?
I'm making a set of bronze watches. They're on the exterior, they all match, and they have the mark of shame that's been our thingy on them. On the inside, I was going to put something unique for each person, but specifically for the twins, I vaguely recall that they had given Rose a couple coins, like compensation for something at some point. I can't remember. I remember it was significant, something that they had left behind last session.
It was for the alcohol that they had taken on her tab. I don't remember the amount.
There was like a good bit of money that was given over it.
Right, that's why I'm sitting at 188 gold instead of 190, was because I set aside 2 gold. Yeah. On the inside of those watches is gold pieces specifically taken from the money that they had given in compensation for the alcohol. And I honestly do not have the brain power at the moment to think of a unique item for each person, so just gonna hand wave that for the moment.
Yeah. I will say that normally watches are like unbelievably, ungodly expensive in Pathfinder, but I'm just gonna make this cheap.
Well, she has her own. She has her own watch to work as a reference guide.
No, I'm saying for crafting rules, pocket watches are normally like 250 gold.
Oof. I think she's got several days to work, and they're all just the same thing. So just make 10 of each part.
No, I'm saying like technically speaking, Pathfinder's crafting rules are not the best. By
You have to
these
have that
rules,
value of
you would have to spend 125 gold on each of these. And in addition to that, that check right there would mean you would be a little bit over. Oh god, like you would be like percentages of the way to the first watch.
Well, here's my counterpoint. That cost is mostly for materials, right?
No, I'm saying by Pathfinder crafting rules, like technically speaking, yeah, you could substitute the things,
Right,
but
well,
I'm saying for how much progress you would have made, and I already said for the purposes of this, I'm going to lower it, like the requirements. I'm just more pointing out Pathfinder crafting rules, everyone. That check right there would have been like a little bit over like 10%.
Crafting.
Pathfinder crafted rules are not very good if you use them raw.
Yeah, you got me thinking about Factorio now. I need an entire mountain's worth of resource to make a single Tech 3 power card.
Yeah.
How does it all fit in there? Where is it going?
Yeah, basically. This, technically speaking, making a watch in Pathfinder is like a pocket watch is like over a month's worth of work for like generally. It's hilarious.
So stupid.
Hilariously bad, but hilarious.
Watches are for admirals, silly. I'm a captain.
But yeah, no, I'll say that you'll be able to make the watches. This is for internal team stuff anyway, so. I just more wanted to point out by base Pathfinder rules how absolutely ridiculous it would be to try and do this.
Oh, yeah, I just remembered one of the finer details. Yes, for the inside of Timbers, how that one would be unique is it doesn't have numbers on the face. It'll still have the tick marks for the hours, but it's set to be on a 24-hour clock rather than 12-hour, and it just has the sun on one side, the moon on the other, with markers for dawn and dusk. She knows he struggles with counting.
So basically, a mechanical sundial.
Yes, it's a mechanical sundial for Timber. Technically, yes, it does have the tick marks, so you can just count off the tick marks to get the exact time of day, but for Timber's uses. Alright, so obviously going to be taking a bunch of the bronze for that. What's my personal expenditure going to be then, if I'm actually having to pay gold into this?
Oh, no, you don't. I'm saying, like, by base Pathfinder crafting rules.
He's hand-waving it.
Okay.
I'm hand-waving it. I was just explaining for reference how absolutely onerous the crafting rules in Pathfinder are.
Ah. Well,
that was me going like, by the way, as an aside, here's what it would be like if I actually enforced the rules, like, raw.
They're stupid rules.
They are. I just wanted to basically go, here's why they're stupid.
Is there enough voyage left to make all 10 of them?
I'll say yeah.
Okay.
Besides, the only one that actually has to be a significant size is Timbers.
Yeah. Yeah, Timbers would be the same as the others, just twice as big. Literally just scale up the diagram and tweak the tuning dial.
You just put it on a dental plate.
Literally just take two pieces of fine dinnerware, and that's the shell for it.
Yeah, till it busts.
In a weird way, when it comes to tuning the metronome inside, it being larger actually works out to the benefit of it being set to a 24-hour clock instead of a 12-hour clock.
It does.
But anyways, moving on. She's going to be holding off on handing them out until they make port.
All right. Anyone else have any last minute things?
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
It's my birthday.
It's Tal's birthday.
I didn't know. No, nobody told me.
We mentioned it like 3 times in the intro.
Yeah.
Zim even introduced me as the birthday dragon.
I was setting things up at the time. It's the same intro every time, so I just like kind of tuned it out.
Yes, it is the anniversary of his survival around the fusion ball on the day of his hatching.
So yeah, it's my birthday. It's been my birthday this entire time. I even mentioned it in my roll call thing, saying birthday game.
Yeah. That's what you get for being complacent, Wozilia.
No, she was having problems with voice mod.
By the way.
Oh yeah. So again, any last minute actions? I'm gonna take that as a no.
Yeah, no, I have nothing.
In that case, as you guys approach the area where, your navigating is going pretty well, the seas have been very nice and calm for most of the way, actually. You only got hit by one storm, and it was very, very light. It was not actually enough to even to start making the waves chop dangerously. It just, made the deck wet. And it is a rather nice day out. The sightlines are very clear, which is when you guys manage to notice something pretty interesting as the dock starts to pull into view. Which is, there is a brilliant blue banner above the town. There are some very tall buildings in this town. Including what looks to be a, probably some sort of central either town hall or church or some other building. It's hard to make out from this distance. But draped from it and fluttering in the wind is a brilliant blue banner with a silvered emblem on it. And it isn't billowing, so you can't quite make out what the emblem is supposed to be, but you know that flag is blue and silver.
Anyone know who that means is in charge right now?
I was about to say, does that have any significance to us?
Well, I will say, in that thing I read out earlier, what was the color of the Emperor's colors or the King's colors?
It was crimson.
Crimson and gold. This is blue and silver.
I mean, Ebrium does have
revolts
all the time. I'm assuming that's probably the faction that the so-called Emperor is fighting against.
If there are no signs of crimson and gold, expect a short engagement in your favor.
What I'm hearing is the Emperor might be hiring mercenaries right now. We have reasonable rates.
Or the Emperor might be struggling with this faction.
Exactly, which means he's hiring mercenaries right now.
So are we still
Well, let's see if they open
here?
fire on us.
You know what? I just thought of what would be the thing inside Snow's pocket watch. I'm going to deduct a silver piece. 84. It's gonna have 3 silver rings in a Celtic knot inside the cover. There, she's gonna melt down a silver coin to do the inlay.
All right, so are you guys going to approach the port?
Yes.
All right. There is no signs of activity, actually, as you approach the port. You don't see any dock hands or, fishermen or anything doing anything at the docks. It actually looks like there's no one there.
Twins?
Yes?
Think you can get some eyes on the dock? It looks awfully not docky.
They will go ahead and scout out the dock.
All right, go ahead and give me that perception.
While they're heading out to scout the docks, Rose is going to have Atlas's turret pointed in the direction of the docks, ready to fire if needed.
All right.
They will be
with those-
feeding what they see directly to Timber again, by the way.
All right. So this is going to be less of what's actually visible, and more what you're able to detect as you focus in on it. And I assume that, like, you're going closer to it.
Yes.
All right. What you'll notice is that
real quick, if they do feel the need, they do have that true sight lantern that they will use.
Yeah. So you will notice that there aren't anyone in the streets or, like, visible. There are definitely people in these buildings, though. There are plenty of people in these buildings. There's also a distinct lack of any sort of, porter carts or anything in near to the docks. Because normally there'd be, carts sitting around and other things, so that way ships could easily offload material without having to, get a bunch of people to carry a bunch of shit. Those are also not present.
Speaking of which, are there any docked ships?
There are a few. No docked warships, just, more like fisherman ships. There's a ship that you'd probably peg as being more of like a patrol boat ship.
Yeah, because if there weren't even...
Go on, sorry.
If there were no ships at the dock either, then I would be advocating anchoring offshore and going to shore with longboats.
But yeah, so there is, like, a handful of docked ships. It's just, none of them of any actual individual note.
It doesn't look like a plague port.
Yeah, that's what I was concerned about.
Storyteller, does this flag description match any flags that Timber might know?
I will say no.
All right.
Timber was only really taught the official, actual flags.
Okay.
This is, out of game, this is quite obviously a rebel flag, and those change literally weekly.
Yeah.
The only semi-consistent theme is they like to go with blue if possible, but they'll also just go with whatever other color if they feel like it.
3 weeks ago, they used the former mayor as a flag.
I mean, that sends a statement.
But I mean, he was too round, so he just fell down eventually.
Not aerodynamic.
But yeah, so a rebel flag might be blue, might be green, might be any given color, which does give a little bit of confusion because, noble flags are also generally tend to be more varied. The king is the only one that's allowed to use the crimson flag with the gold, but that doesn't mean that they can't use, like, other shades of red to show imperial loyalty.
But if the flag is blue, does that mean it just looks white to Timber, or?
Oh, he can see
No,
blue.
he can see blue.
Well, remember, the twins are sharing their vision.
That is
Yes,
also true.
they are.
But yes, there are people inside the buildings. There are plenty of people here. It doesn't seem like there's only like a handful of people here. There are ships. However, there is no unloading equipment that has been left near the docks. In fact, there's not even like crates of things that have been left near the docks. It's like the structure has been like there are still ships there, but there is like all of the boxes and storage.
No cover.
There is nothing, that exists there now. It's all been moved elsewhere or gotten rid of.
Twins, do you sense your family nearby?
Do they sense their family nearby?
They sense one at the end of the range, which is not inside the city.
Yes, we do. And they are taking off. But give me just a minute, please.
And while he's doing whatever he needs to do. Because Rose was standing by and watching. Does she notice them just darting off?
I mean, I can't answer if they're being stealthy or not. I'm gonna assume no, but like, he just stepped away.
Since he was running, flying over there, no.
Yeah, like it's very likely that they didn't try to stealthily teleport away or anything. But he just said like, give me a minute. So like, I can't answer that right now.
I was going to say, what time of day are we pulling into the port?
Oh, it's like noonish.
Okay.
So it should be busy, but it's not.
That mattered for something for my character, but that has passed.
For the I thought of what I was going to do for Alexi's. She's going to do the silver inlay thing there too. So I'm deducting another silver coin. She's going to be doing an alchemist's circle on the inside of his. So the little ring that has all the elements and their synergy and all that.
Alchemist, be thou for the people.
Say again?
I said, Alchemist, be thou for the people.
I feel that's a Full Metal Alchemist reference.
You should, it is.
Well, I mean, it's made of silver, so yeah, it's full metal.
It's been a long time since I've watched Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay. So I was just looking up alchemist circles while waiting on Zim to get back. Found a picture that's on Instagram. Open up a new tab. Apparently my Instagram account, which I never use for anything other than viewing stuff on Instagram, was suspended for some reason.
Funny.
Apparently it was suspended almost exactly a month ago. Why? Like I said, I've never posted anything using it. I just use it to view stuff that I need to be logged in for.
Maybe they just think you're a bot account or something.
It might have been your account might have gotten hijacked and possibly.
Well, while the twins run off, I guess we'll approach the docks.
Alrighty.
Yeah, as the twins go off, Temple's just gonna say, "Be careful. Good luck," because he knows you can't catch them. Since Rosilia's not in the thing, he's just gonna yell down at all and say, "Yeah, I think the twins found somebody. They went to go get him. We're approaching the port without him."
Was it one of their family?
I believe so.
Oh, they just ran off.
They do that.
All right. I'll have to trust all of you to unload Atlas. I'm going to go and follow them. Remember, their family is being hunted, so they might run into danger when they get there. And it'd be kind of pointless to ask them to come back right now, so...
Rosilia, I don't recall hearing you in the conversations with the twins around.
I've been wearing a ring of mind shield ever since our encounter with the Redacted.
You might want to take that off if you're going after them.
Good idea. She is going to slip the ring off while taking flight to go follow after the twins.
If you guys run into trouble, come back here.
I take it they bolted before we had a chance to get to the dock?
Well, they can fly.
Exactly, so.
He did say they were going to be leaving immediately. I don't know the manner in which they left, so I can't answer questions
Just
in
assuming
relation.
flying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, but also they technically have, like, you know... Yeah, I figured, but, you know, they could also dive underwater.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know, I kind of can't answer without them here on that particular front.
But regardless, if we're not even pulled in the port, even Snow couldn't because he can't walk on water.
Sorry about that.
Oh, welcome back.
Did I miss things here? As far as
the only kind of waiting for you to come back.
Yeah, the twins were flying off non-stealthily, and they're not going to be in any state to be talked out of it.
Yeah, Temple just said, "Good luck, be safe."
Yeah, Rose did take off the ring of mind shield, and she is following behind. What's their flight speed versus Pfeffenthorn's? Pfeffenthorn goes 50, I believe.
35.
Okay, so she would be able to catch up. She'd be keeping a respectful distance, though. Right now, her reasoning is that Because the rest of the family has been being hunted, there's a high chance of running into trouble when they get there, which means they might need her support. Also an opportunity to patch things up.
All right. So I'm kind of running low on time, so I'm going to do this in a specific order. So let's go ahead and start with the docking, because that'll take less time.
Okay.
Timber, how are
Alright.
you going to be docking here?
You mean the reunification of the Marten's family after so many years of running this campaign? Is it going to take a short time?
No, not at all. Yeah.
I mean, I guess Temple's just gonna pull off and go to port side of one of the docks and just drop ankle.
Yep, there are open berths.
Yeah. And basically he's just gonna slow down, get there, drop ankle, try to secure the boat, and
Rope up.
yeah, rope up, and probably tell Gaul to run down the dock and see what's going on. If something bad happens, run back and we can try to kick off.
So would that be acrobatics jump down, or would we put the plank down, or?
No, clearly you just put a coin in the bunny hat and run across the water.
However, Gaul thinks is the best way to get on that dock.
Yeah, plank down and check.
What, you're not going to ramp up the plank while it's still at a vertical angle? Pretty sure you can get some extra turbo if you do a flip or two.
And go down and check.
All right. Let me go ahead and roll. All right. Gart, just to remind you, effectively what you're looking at here is a long dock berth with absolutely no cover in any way, leading towards, the main dock area, which again has removed any single item that could be used as cover.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to approach this?
Go down, plank to the berth, and stand there looking to see if I'm going to be attacked.
All right.
No weapon drawn.
Well, with that, you don't see anyone. There is no attacks coming your way currently. And, maybe you swear you see a little bit of movement, but you definitely don't see any actual figures. And in addition, you will also notice that it's an area where there's a lot of salt smell, obviously. But it does smell like there has been people down this dock today.
Something went on before we got here. Nobody's coming out to greet me.
I mean, they're not shooting you. That's a plus.
Yet.
What should we do, Captain Timber?
Alright, let's drop anchor. Snow, you're sneaky. Why don't you, Actually, hold on a second.
We have the answer for why they're vacant. Look in chat.
What's in chat?
Quote for suspiciously vacant docks. Cobot reply, you stinky.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Look, I'm sneaky, but there's no cover. There's nothing for me to dart around. There's no physical way that I can sneak up without the whole world, or in this case, the dock, knowing I'm here.
Well,
I can't just turn invisible.
Worst case scenario, I march down there and I eat cannonballs.
Gar, try yelling at them to see if they're there.
Just waving.
You don't want me yelling. They can clearly see I'm a barbarian.
Fine, I'll... As he just slowly marches out. A little wary. He'll get to where Gar is, keeping a little bit of distance, about 20 feet apart from him. And just go, hello, people. Why is nobody here?
So would that be diplomacy, intimidate, which type of...
Oh, he's not intimidating. Diplomacy.
It would
at
be an
most.
attack
Oh,
roll.
God.
Hello? Can you hit them with your wards?
Excuse me while I boot up swords and sandals and just start clicking the yell button.
We're not here to attack people. We were here to trade.
You may roll diplomacy if you want.
Oh God, you want Snow to roll diplomacy? All right, let's
You're
roll
the one
that.
who wanted to talk.
We just want to talk to him. We just want to talk to him.
Yep, that worked as much as I thought.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep. This is why I didn't negotiate with the pirate.
Yeah, but now you're negotiating with cannons, so... This is why I sent Gaul. Tim was going to march down.
To be clear, again, you do not see anything on these docks. The only things that are here besides the docks themselves are some effectively emptied ships that are just sitting there.
Timbo's gonna march right past Gaul and Snow and just approach the city.
Alright, how are you going all the way down the berth? Or are you...
He's going the most direct path. No weapon drawn, just marching.
So this is how the party dies. The twins go off to save their family.
I'm in danger!
No, you're fine, Rosalia. You're near the twins. Then again, they are very, very stubborn.
Quotes taken out of context.
Yep. So, Timber, you're marching down the way. And, this is actually like a pretty sturdily built dock, but like, you're in heavy armor and you can hear the clunk, clunk, clunk of your feet as you march down this dock. This city is almost completely silent. There's the sounds of like, a couple of birds. There's obviously sounds coming from your ship. But from the town itself, it is effectively silent. Until you get pretty much just down the way and actually go out into the greater dock area itself. Instead of it just being, on a docking berth, now you're on the docks proper. And then you hear a very loud horn. And in each of the buildings facing the dock, through doors, windows, basically anything that can be opened or things where people could, like, hide inside, people simultaneously pop out, each holding their own whatever ranged weapon it is. There's a lot of crossbows, a handful of guns, some bows that people have, and the city's defense cannons as well.
Tim was going to look up at him and just wave.
It is at this point where I would like to remind the party that the current foremost person is an armored person wearing red.
Yep.
Well, yeah, it's so they can't see him bleed.
Let's cut it. And with that, let's go over to the twins.
The twins are flying as fast as they can to their family.
Yep. It was very faint. At pretty much just the edge of your range, not even near to this town itself. Like, there is no possible way that this signature is actually in the town. It has to be outside of even the outskirts and into effectively the wilderness. Not far away, but enough that, they're not in the town, so you have to go deeper inland.
They can fly. They are not scared. Though they probably should be. It is you.
But then again, they're the twins.
And what happens is you are flying tree over tree over tree, just doing your best to, burn a tear through the air to go faster. You are doing just about everything you can to speed up. You want to get there. And even going as fast as you can, it still takes a good few minutes. And, you're exerting yourself doing this. But as you get closer, you can feel that signature get stronger and stronger and stronger as you start to hone in on it. And you aren't there yet. But it's at this point that you realize this is one of your sisters. You're not sure which one yet, but you know it's one of your sisters.
They're gonna try, calling out. Just a simple sister?
Yeah, those are some weird rolls. All right. So the voice comes through, very, very faint at first. Where, it's not like a distance faint thing. It's almost out of like surprise and not quite like disuse, but like almost like they weren't expecting this, and now they're surprised. And you get through your side a very faint, hesitant, and shaky. Brother? No, wait. Brothers?
Where are you? Where have you been?
Okay, okay, just, I've been... Oh no, I haven't cleaned up a... Okay, just keep coming, I'll show, just, keep coming this way.
They are not stopping.
And as you hone in on that signature, you realize that they are probably underground, actually. And you look nearby to some of the nearby to some of the things that you yourself would peg as, oh, this would be a good place to burrow something. And it takes a couple seconds. You actually miss the spot at first, but looking over it again, you do manage to find it. And you realize that there is an underground leading entrance going down.
They are... Okay, I'm gonna roll. Even the dice know what they want.
Oh my god.
Neither of them on the face value of the dice rolled over a 10.
Yeah, that was to see if they would do the polite thing and, semi-knock, or just barge in, and, well, they're barging
your
in.
Own size.
Also, apparently they had wounds. I have removed those.
Oh, yeah.
Given that Rose probably wouldn't be able to follow into the burrow, once they land, she's going to be sending Stephenthorn immediately back up to be circling and keeping an eye on the surrounding area.
All right. That is noted.
Yeah, they're just scrambling into the hole.
All right. Now, going down into the hole, it twists, it turns, it goes this way, it goes that way, but most importantly, it keeps going down. And it takes a good little bit of scrambling down and down and down. Just sort of almost instinctually, taking corners and continuing to go down. It seems like this was designed very purposefully in a way where it is almost impossible for someone that isn't of you or your family species to make it in here without an onerous amount of effort. And eventually, you feel every single moment of going down this entrance, it widens. And you can see that your sister has managed to sort of dig out and widen what equates to an entire underground living area. And you immediately notice a few things. First of all, your sister is right there, looking very excited. Second of all, you notice that they actually have a lot, and I do mean a lot, of supplies down here. And upon being able to see them, you know which of your sisters this is. This is a sister named Ilix.
Okay, what's her name tomorrow gonna be? I had to.
Spell that, please.
Ilix.
Alright, noted that down. They're just gonna pause for a moment. I'm assuming probably only, one in front of the other, not side by side, but...
Yeah.
Then we'll say Egg is the one that rolled lower. We'll go and move in and let the other one in.
All right. Ilix does. You know the mix between excited but nervous wiggle.
Yes.
That is exactly what Ilix does.
They are just going to pounce her. After, just stunned silence for a moment. And then proceed to bombard her with questions. Things along the lines of, where have you been? Do you know where any others are? Are you safe? Do you know about the hunter? On and on and on.
All right. So, in vague order, she will answer that she's been here. And, very firm, motioning, around the room, as in, here. She will answer that she does not know where any of your siblings are. She is safe down here, which is why she tries to stay down here, because nothing else can get her here. And what hunter?
They pause at that last one. We don't know what hunter, but they're just gonna send along the, mental recording of what they saw in the tower.
Right. Real quick. Yeah, fair enough. You're able to tell that while Ilix hasn't lost any of her actual ability with it, and this is probably just due to isolation, it seems like she is kind of out of practice with this sort of stuff right now. Which would make sense if she has just been alone with no other psionics nearby to her.
Fair.
Speaking of psionics, would the twins have noticed that Rose took off her ring, and would Ilix have noticed that Rose is there in the first place?
For the twins, they have currently blocked out detection of Rosalia altogether. So no, they would not notice. As for Ilix, that's up to Tal.
Yeah, Ilix can tell that there's someone around. But again, Ilix is very out of practice, so it's more like just being able to vaguely tell that, yeah, there's someone else nearby.
There's a shadow up there.
Yeah, it's just like the equivalent of, like, she knows that there's someone else around and can guess that they're above ground. And, like, that's about it. But you know, it'll take her a bit. It'll take her a little bit longer than she used to actually like parse the information. But as she does, she gets like, you know, more and more nervous looking. And she's just going to go. So where are the others?
You're the only one we've been able to find so far.
Oh,
Aren't there supposed to be 2 on this island?
There's 2 in short, like, they're nearby to each other. There are not 2 on this particular island.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there's one really close by, but they're not as high level as you, and thus do not have the range as
you. Yeah. We do know that one of us is nearby on another island, though.
Oh, okay. That's.
Also,
I feel a little bit better about that now. I don't want any of us getting hurt.
The Riv voice is really throwing me off.
I'm trying to do a higher.
I know.
Look, you can only do so many voices.
I know.
Sorry, I can only do so many high-pitched voices.
Carry on. At least
Also,
it's not
sorry,
Vane.
Oh yeah, no. Vane's voice is only for Vane. But sorry about that. I got completely thrown off because my family just came in. What was I in this conversation?
She had just been told that there's another one nearby.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't want any of the others getting hurt. So okay, you found me first, and I don't want any of us getting hurt, so we need to go find the other one.
We do have a ship. And they're kind of looking around. How long have you been down here?
A while. And I didn't know how long I'd be down here, so I just kind of kept storing more food.
That's okay. We have a lot of mouths to feed on the ship, and also we have a chicken door where we can get all the eggs we want. Well, not all the eggs, but a lot of them.
Okay. I kind of tried swimming once, but then I got tired and had to come back. I think a ship would be good.
We also have a tree on the ship.
I want to hang out in trees, but I also, if there's hunters, shouldn't I try to stay underground?
Well, fair, but it's on the ship anyways, so there's not really underground any. Well, I guess there is a small garden, but there's not really space for digging underground there.
It's okay. I'll just make a safe place in the tree.
Okay. We should get all this out of here, though, and take it with us. And we should probably move quickly because we don't know how long we'll be able to be here.
She'll take a bit of a breath, and go over to one of the many piles of food, and just scrunch her face a bit and pick up a section of it and start walking towards the entrance / exit.
Let's just get it into one big pile and we can probably lift it.
You can't?
We've gotten really strong. At least I assume that there's not more than what they can carry with, one go.
Oh, no, there is not.
Yeah.
The problem will be the winding tunnels.
Oh, no, I've got a solution for that.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Yeah.
Rosalia up on the surface is just going to see the dirt start parting like a freaking underground helipad.
Yeah. No,
I didn't know that she had a freight elevator.
To put it into perspective, she has a large amount of food by timber standards, but that is not more than you can carry. She has spent her entire time here mostly just getting food.
Fair enough.
Because she's just been in I'm alone and I need food mode.
Do you have any other stashes?
Just entire piles of empty Ben and Jerry's off on one side.
I kind of started trying to make other stashes, but I haven't had time to because I kind of kept having to make more space here.
Okay, understandable.
Got caught in the Minecraft warehouse spiral.
For most Martens, they
Felix
do not
will still
have
be
one
holding,
stash.
will still be psionically holding on to the small portion that she grabbed, though.
That is fair. Do you mind if we kinda... Well, to get all this out of here quickly and the best way, this little place isn't going to be around anymore. Is that okay?
I could just make a new place. I can just make a new one.
Okay. And thus, parting the roof.
Okay, Moses, calm down.
Yep.
Please tell me it is...
looks both excited and amazed.
Please tell me that it happens to be directly underneath Rosalia.
Oh, obviously.
Of course. Good. Excellent. It's going to be about
was there?
20-foot cube just parting away.
Yeah, as the ground starts slowly rising underneath her. As soon as the ground starts lifting, she is going to quickly get off of that area, though.
And remember, you have no flight.
Yeah. Well, how quickly are they lifting it?
Very, very quickly. Right now, as far as they are concerned, they do not know where the Hunter is or how long they have on this island, so they are in rush mode. We can worry about details later.
Considering that she's in a battle-ready state, I'm pretty sure she could get to the edge of the lifted area before it's high enough off the ground that she'd take fall damage.
Probably.
Yeah. You'll be fine. You'll just be inconvenienced.
Majorly inconvenienced, but, you know.
Inconvenienced. But yes, the earth is laparted, and the food and the sibling is retrieved.
Just calling down into the hole. I've got Svefenthorn circling, haven't spotted anything yet. I did take the ring off.
They look up at her. And seem to just look through her.
Twins, now is not the time to be petty.
She will get, Rosalia will get the, Xbox, low quality, mental message. Fine.
Sounds like the microphone's right in his mouth.
Super staticky.
Your sister's gonna be a big surprise for the crew of the ship.
We can go back to being frenemies after your family member's out of danger.
They will nod and just kind of lift up all the food, and they'll look at her. Are you able to fly?
She's just gonna blink at them a little bit, and then just go. Not really. I can jump and glide a little bit, but not fly.
Okay. Get on top of the pile.
She will stand on top of the pile, still mentally holding on to the one bit she picked up.
And they will lift everything up into the sky and start flying back towards the ship. They are going to be going high up in the sky, but being very careful of her.
Understood.
Rose will recall Svefenthorn and follow along.
All right. In that case, I think that that's probably the best place that we're going to get to end this. We did technically go past my hard stop time a little bit, but, I was having fun, so.
We also stopped or started a little late, so.
Hold the line. This
Danica!
Danny Cathrat raided my stream with 8 viewers.
Hello there, Danica. You came in just as we were about to switch games here. We're still streaming, though, so no worries there. I was going to take a small break here. But yeah, welcome in, everybody. I am Raw Zim. You guys came in to the end of our Ascent to Ascend Pathfinder campaign. We have a lot of tabletop games, Pathfinder, Pokemon, Digimon, Star Wars. We've got artists that join. We've got a huge variety of games we do here. So hit that follow button. Come join us again. You were doing some advanced D&D yourself. Very nice. As long as it's not 5e. Or whatever the heck they're doing nowadays. That's garbage.
1D&D.
Well, I know that they were originally going to call it 1D&D, but then they... I don't know. Either way, now's not the time. Because
I do want to get at least 5 hours of sleep for my next 12-hour shift.
Yeah. Again, happy birthday, Tal.
Yep.
And thank you, everybody, for joining us so far on the stream today. That was Ascent to Ascend Pathfinder. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more there on the website, as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and your support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, grabbing some merch over at zgfgaming.store, or using our Humble Bundle partner link. But for now, thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube, and I bid you all the most fondest adieu.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.